Monsignor Kevin Wallin has an interesting personal life, and it unfortunately caught up with him. Now, this is the Roman Catholic Diocese of Bridgeport, Connecticut's leader. Looks like a perfectly normal guy there. And he got up to some pretty interesting shenanigans. So he was arrested, unfortunately, because of trying to sell meth to police officers multiple times. Now, I should let you know also that he owns a sex shop, the name of which is Land of Oz and Dorothy's Place. And even after they found out, the diocese found out that he owned this sex shop, they still stood behind him.
What?
But once it came out that he was selling meth to police officers and using the sex shop to launder the money, eventually, at that point, you lose your position.
His nickname is Monsignor Meth.
That's pretty awesome. There's going to be a TV show about this guy. I think Breaking Bad should have a character like this at some point. That would work pretty well.
So this guy's Catholic?
Yeah. So he liked to...
He owned a sex shop, and they're still like cool with that, the Catholic.
No, he's not just Catholic, he's a priest.
Boy, once you're a maid...
No, he's not just a Catholic guy.
He's a Monsignor.
Yes.
Once you're made man in that Catholic church,
it's so true.
really...
It's like having tenure.
You can do whatever you want, I guess. Yeah.
But he had a history of personal problems. This is dating back to 2011. In July 2011, he got a sabbatical to deal with his personal problems. People were saying that he was caught engaging in sex acts with odd-looking men while sometimes dressed as a woman. I don't have a problem with that if that's your personal life.
Yeah, no.
Once you get into the meth and the laundering money, that's actually a problem.
Is the problem that the guys were odd looking? Is that the problem, that they were odd looking?
They apparently thought it was worth noting.
The problem is that he took an oath of celibacy because he's a priest.
And so the reason that I included this on the rundown is we like to occasionally point out the hypocrisy of religious figures, but this guy just he ticked off every category. Like it sounds like the headline is a Mad Libs that some crazy liberal was filling out.
Yeah.
Yes.
My favorite is a quote from this parishioner.
Yeah, let's hear that.
There's an evil invading our world, and it has come to our church. This was a work of evil, and I'm praying for the Monsignor.
So that's how they do it, right?
Exactly.
So I remember I grew up Catholic, and then the priest in our Father Holohan, we used to call him, the kids call him Happy Hands Holohan, because he was always trying to grab your cock. And,
oh my God!
And he made the kids happy. I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was really happy. And so when it came out that he finally got caught, they sent a letter out to the parishioners saying that please pray for him.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs their prayers more than any. The priest, and then my mom reiterated. She says the priests need our prayers more than anybody. They're constantly, the devil's coming after them. Oh my God! It's just like, so there's nothing they can ever do that's bad, and that's that crazy
mysterious ways.
Yes. Well, and this is the difference between science and religion, of course. In science, you ask a question and then you try to find evidence. In religion, you determine the outcome first.
Yes.
And then you post hoc are going to try and justify everything that you can. And only once it's like, okay, how do we justify that this guy's selling meth? We can't. All right, now we're not going to be behind him anymore. Yeah. But the other stuff, sure, there's an evil lurking in him and whatever. That's embarrassing. That's
a cross-dressing, meth-dealing, sex shop-owning Monsignor.
Yeah.
Oh, where are we getting our spirituality this week?
Hilarity ensues. This should be a sitcom.
Oh my God.